I'm your host, Joshua.
And I'm your host, Ariel.
And we're the Midnight Guild. Welcome back, everybody, to another long-anticipated video of the Midnight Guild. We're so glad to be here with you.
Very much so.
Honey, it has been some, not troubling times, but honey, it's just definitely
a tad, yeah. We've been busy and then stuck at Patton.
Life has lifed us.
Hard.
No Vaseline.
None, not a bit.
None at all. But it's all right, honey, because we're still standing.
Amen.
We are still standing and standing strong, honey.
Amen.
That's that Gilder in us, honey. Hashtag Gilders.
They don't like us.
They don't like us. They don't like us. They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. So, on today's episode, honey, we got you a little hodgepodge of this, a little bit of that. We're going to treat you so many ways. You're bound to like one of them.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more.
Yes.
We, one good thing about us taking this extended little break, it was like 2 weeks?
Something like that.
Oh, I would like to throw one thing in there. So if you watch on Spotify, usually, I've been having major issues with uploading on Spotify. I don't know what it is. Every time I go to upload, for some reason, it loads the whole thing. And then when it's ready to hit next for it to actually upload it, it deletes the entire thing.
Why don't Spotify like that?
I don't know, honey. It's about like Instagram.
It needs to do better, Spotify.
So,
honey, fix it.
For the best way to see us always with no issue is going to be here on YouTube. And then also, we have other content on TikTok. Our first videos is like parts of our episodes, which I'm going to start throwing parts of our episodes back in some TikToks, but we do a lot of stories just for TikTok, like just for TikTok content. So if you're not following us on TikTok, go follow. And if you're not following us on YouTube, subscribe.
Just follow us on everything.
Honey, just do it. Just do it. It'll make you feel better.
We'll like you back.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was going to say earlier, the good thing about this little extended break was, honey, I have been coming up with all kinds of stuff for us to chat about.
Honey, her little mind has been working.
Just turning them wheels to turn. And there's been all kinds of crazy shit happening, so it worked in our favor.
It did. It did.
So, honey, I've got me a little note here so we don't forget.
Her little notepad, honey. She's like Nancy Drew. She's on the case.
Okay, so first things first. We're going to talk about mermaids, honey. Yep, you heard it here first, mermaids. Or you heard it here like 20th time because it's been popping on all over TikTok.
And can I just reiterate that you can be a merman too?
You can, honey.
Hashtag equality.
So apparently, I don't know exactly what the original video was, but the one that I saw was this man, and he comes on, and if I can find it, I'll put his username in the bottom here. But if I can't find it, I can't find it because it just popped up on my For You page. And apparently, there was this man, and he like, to my knowledge, he like got out of prison or jail or something like that, and needed a job, and so he gets hired to work on this fishing boat. And
it sounds very Maine, Stephen King-ish a little.
So actually, I think it's in California. But I'm sure, but they say it happens all over the U.S. in the coastal towns.
Killed that.
Okay, so apparently he goes and gets work on this fishing boat, which is actually like a ship. And he doesn't know what they're going to catch, but he knows that it's not going to be like bigger fish. I guess
they're going for the dolphin.
And they get out there. They start, I guess
fishing.
However, they
start fishing.
I don't know how they do it. They do it, I guess, nets to catch big quantities or whatever, or to catch big fish.
Sure.
So I don't know how they do it, but they start fishing, honey.
And if I want to catch a big fish, I just bend over.
Oh.
No.
So they're going out there and they're fishing for mermaids, and he finds this out by them dragging on like 2 mermaids onto the boat.
Huh.
Okay.
Alleged mermaids.
And they like shove them into these big tanks because they want them to be fresh. Ew. Sorry, just ew. So they're still alive or whatever. Well, this one fights back.
We gotta keep them mermaids fresh now.
Yeah. So one of them doesn't like put up a fight, but one of them does, and like she loses like multiple fingers.
Yeah, she was the alpha.
Appendages, whatever. And where she gets damaged, she already had a buyer. Okay. So
we can buy a mermaid.
No, honey. It's very dark. It's probably very black market, dark web type shit. You have to be like an elite.
Okay, so let's download that little onion thing and let's buy some mermaid.
Honey, I can only imagine how much we'd have to pay for a mermaid.
Well, maybe
and
we
what
can
are we
get.
going to do with the mermaid?
I don't know. Maybe we can get one like the defective mermaids. I mean, I'm sure the alpha after she lost a few fingers wasn't worth as much.
But I wouldn't want to keep it. I feel too bad for it.
Maybe we can get a baby mermaid
and raise it up.
Yeah.
Just put it in the bathtub.
Right, it'll be fine. I got that hot tub. It'll be fine. We'll put it in the hot tub.
So, the one that they already had sold, since she's defective now, they have to find a new buyer. And like a whole bunch of stuff ensues or whatever. And apparently he finds out that like the elite, like the top of the top, like politicians, celebrities, you know, the big wigs, the bad people that we all secretly know are bad, but, you know, can't prove it. So the elite, the top of the top, and probably the elite that none of us know anything about, like, you know, getting along them Illuminati type people, which I don't even know if the Illuminati's real, but those type of people, think like that. And what they do is they're having mermaid dinner parties where the mermaid is the main course. And apparently these elite people consider it like a delicacy or something or other.
Okay, so you know what this is kind of reminding me of?
What?
Okay, so back in the Victorian days, you know, they had a real big fascination with Egypt.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of archaeologists was finding, you know, like these pharaohs' tombs and everything. Yeah. So it was a big thing back in that time at these very fancy dinner parties to serve mummy.
No.
Yes. They would eat the mummies. It was a very big popular thing, and it was and it was like, you know, the 1%, like only the rich of the rich could serve mummies at their dinner party. But yeah, that's kind of what it's given me. You know, is
this is for real?
Yeah.
Wow, I never heard that.
Oh yeah, it was a big thing, like because like there was a period in like because there was so many archaeologists and everything, and they was finding so many things in Egypt that it really like it influenced everything. Like I mean, like that's why you walk into some of these houses and you have these like big Egyptian vases, you know, and things like that, because it influenced jewelry, it influenced everything, because they were bringing all of the stuff. You know, I mean, Great Britain has like, you know, well, Europe in general has like some of the largest collections of Egyptian artifacts, because they were going and raiding these graves and tombs, and they were bringing everything back, including the mummies that would be served at your local dinner party. Well, not your local dinner party, but you know, the elite, the big house. I need the big house. The big house. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
That's kind of what that reminded me of. Honestly, it's kind of giving me that mixed with Hostel, the movie.
Ugh.
You know, where the people buy the people so they can murder them.
Yeah, Hostel, yeah.
Did I call it Hostel? Mm-hmm. I did. I was being bougie. A little extra. Hostel. Pretty sure that's actually how you're supposed to say it. But
I don't think so.
You might be right, but I don't know.
But it don't matter.
We're going with Hostel because it just sounds more exotic.
Okay. So apparently people are having these mermaid dinner parties. And everybody's coming out on TikTok and talking about it. And there's like numerous accounts of like people being like, I've heard the story about a mermaid dinner party too, blah, 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 blah. And everybody's like, yeah, this is like a really well-known thing. Like if you are around those type of people, it's just not talked about.
My question, if you had the opportunity to go to a mermaid dinner party, would you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so I would definitely attend the party just because I want to see with my own eyes. I'm not saying that I would partake in it.
Oh, I would never eat the mermaid.
I wouldn't eat the mermaid, no, because that's still...
The reason I wouldn't
still feel like that's part cannibalism.
I agree.
Just saying. But now I would want to go to the dinner party to know that it existed, and then, honey, then I can be the whistleblower. I'll be like, honey, they done had that poor little mermaid laid out on that table, honey, with the apple in his little mouth. Honey, I'd call PETA. Right then and there, I'd call the PETA.
The reason I wouldn't want to go is because obviously I'd be afraid they'd try and force me to eat the mermaid.
Well, and I mean, given your name's Ariel, honey.
Yeah. It's like going against my own kind, you know.
Kinda. It's like,
And I'd be afraid they'd force me to eat the mermaid. And then also, I don't think I'd want to see one dead. I think it'd be too sad to see it dead and
like
cooked
I said,
up.
mine was just out of a pure curiosity. Like, I would want to go to prove that it's true.
You could just tell me what it looks like.
Honey, I'd be taking pictures. Don't think I wouldn't, but
I'm sure they take your phones.
Okay.
You can have a spare.
They could take a phone.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm crafty. I got fat folds. We fine. Honey, we fine. I can contraband.
Contraband, honey.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am curious. So, do you think true or not true?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it seems kind of far-fetched just
Agreed.
because now, I guess if it surfaced like, years ago, like if it was like, oh yeah, they did this in the 50s, maybe I could believe a little bit more, if it was a lore, but people doing it not like today, because honey, them waters are so regulated,
I think that they're in international waters.
Right, but even then though, because here's my thing, if mermaids can go eons of years without being detected, I believe they're smarter than your average fisherman.
Yeah. No
offense against the fishermen. Thank you for all you do for providing us with our fish needs.
Amen.
However,
our fish needs.
all of our fish and seafood needs. We appreciate you. Yeah. But I don't think that it would be. I don't know. I don't think it would be easy to catch a mermaid.
Here's the thing. I want to believe mermaids are real, obviously.
Well, yeah. I want to believe that they're real. I just don't want to believe that they're, being cooked and served up at, 7 p.m. with a little bit of mint jelly on the side. I don't want to. I don't want to believe that.
Same. To me, this is really far-fetched. More on the side of this isn't real. Right. Then I am, oh, yeah, I could see this. I'm not saying it's not happening by any means, but personally, because I don't see it.
Here's my thing, too. Okay. If you were lucky enough to catch a mermaid, you're really going to cook it?
Why would you not be sure?
Why would you? Yeah, exactly. Put that in your pool, honey. If you want to have a dinner party, put you on a mermaid show.
Yeah.
Sweetie, let him swim some laps, do a few flips. Honey, you could sell tickets. It'd be like SeaWorld. You could really make money off of that. But you're gonna boil it up and serve it with taters. I don't think it's sensible.
That's another reason I just don't think it's true. I'm just like, okay, they're doing this for money, and of course you're getting bukus of money apparently for this mermaid to eat or whatever. But here's the thing: think of the money you would make 20 times that.
And honey, at the end
bringing
of the day,
it to shore and showing people.
Sweetie, at the end of the day, it's just a fish. You could save a lot more money. Buy you a good, tuna. Honey, yeah. Buy you some salmon, honey. Roast it with a little bit of parsley, some lemon, and it's wonderful.
Well, a lot of these people say that it's because these people are so elite that they've even the normal delicious things that we would think of, like some really good lobster, or really good crab, or whatever the fuck,
Do you know lobster actually started out as poor people food?
I think I did know that, actually. Yeah. Like what we consider delish and high class, they have had it so much, and they're bored of everything because they've lived in extravagance always, and so they keep looking for that next best thing. And it's like mythological creatures and stuff like that aren't mythological, apparently.
Don't get me wrong. I feel like that somewhere out there probably is some like psycho trust fund baby.
Oh, yeah.
Who is off his hinges or her hinges, because psychos can be.
Look at Kim Jong-un. He's fucking crazy.
I thought for sure you was about to say one of them Kardashians.
No, Kim Jong-un.
I recently found out, and I don't know if it's true. I haven't
fact-checked yet. Tell us.
Apparently one of these Kardashians, cooked up her placenta.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It was Kourtney Kardashian.
That's disgusting.
The whole family ate one of them.
Okay, I'm just here to tell you that's cannibalism.
See, I agree.
That is cannibalism. I don't care which way, shape, form you want. That is not a sweet, endearing family moment. That is psycho.
And, and
those would be the type of people who'd eat a mermaid.
Yeah, and like they're like, it's not a big deal because it came out of Courtney, and I'm like, no, bitch, it is a big deal. That's disgusting.
That is cannibalism.
I agree. See, do you want to know that's crazy that you said bring that up? Is because when that right there happened is when I stopped watching.
Okay. So I have never kept up with the Kardashians.
I used to when I was younger.
Or anything like that. But anyhow, last night there was, just a vivid discussion at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking how, a lot of times especially in the older days before prenatal vitamins and all that stuff, that, a woman would eat the placenta from a different animal. They'd fry it up, eat it, and it would give her the nutrients that she needed for a baby. It was a very...
but it's from an animal.
Exactly. And then this little CNA popped off with kind of like that girl who ate who fed her family her placenta, and I was like, who?
What?
Who are we talking about?
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? And then she's like, well, I don't know who it is. It's one of them Kardashians. And I was like,
yeah.
Honey, you mean to tell me you got that much money and ain't got no place? And
honey, they had a cook come in and cook it.
Honey, it reminded me of this little scene from The White Lotus, which I am giving The White Lotus a little shout out because it's my little favorite show.
I need to watch it so bad.
Oh, honey. Parker, no.
I see, I don't get it. One day I will. One day I will.
Buddhism. Anyhow, but it won't be a spoiler alert, but there's this one scene and she's, I can't remember if she's still high on her lorazepam or if she's just, drunk off her ass, but she's just like, her son is like, well, they have a yacht. They're rich. And she's like, being rich doesn't mean they're not trashy. And I'm like, so true. So true, honey. You got one of these little Kardashians, honey.
It's gross. So gross. Oh, God.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Moving on. Personally, I don't. I mean, it seems just a little bit far-fetched for me.
Agreed.
Don't get me wrong. I believe that there's probably, some little psychopath out there hunting down a mermaid so that he can eat them or eat her or, oh, that sounded dirty.
I know what you mean. They did too.
I do believe that that's definitely probably in the realm of possibilities.
Agreed.
Or it could be like one of them little psychopath scientist people who's trying to create a mermaid by just throwing it to a dolphin or something.
That's true.
We don't know, honey. We don't know. All we can do is love them and pray for them. As my mama not used to, and she's still alive.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, as my mama says, and just love them and pray for them. That's all we can do, honey.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we can do.
Okay, now speaking of mythological creatures, we're going to segue into our next topic.
A segue. Yeah.
You're on one today, honey.
I am.
Okay, so speaking of mythological creatures, if I can talk. Honey, apparently there's gnomes out running around. And bitch, I'm not gonna lie, the more I look into it, the more scared I become. Because you would not believe the videos online that I swear that they're not AI. Like, it has taken me aback. Here's the thing is, I believe in the Fae. Okay? But I also believe that most of the time you can't see the Fae. Because the Fae is multiple different things, like, gnomes.
Fairies.
Oh, well, yeah, but there's different kinds of fairies.
Yeah.
Gnomes, fairies like we think of. God, I can't think of leprechauns. I'm terrified of leprechauns.
I don't know why she's terrified of leprechauns.
That damn movie's terrified me as a child.
They're not even they're not even evil creatures. They're part of the good Fae.
I don't know. We'd have to do our research.
I did do my research.
Oh, yeah, my bad. And then there's all kinds of different things.
But, yeah. The Fae.
But
which is
gnomes
pretty much
fall.
just the unknown.
Yeah, well, so the gnomes fall into that category. But a lot of on TikTok they call them duendes or duendes. I think it's duendes. That's
duende to the wall.
So that's the Spanish term for them. And so apparently there's this woman on TikTok. I believe her name's Christina. If I can,
Hi, Christina.
I'll put her little info down at the bottom. So she's in her house. Her husband and son are outside playing or doing whatever. And her son comes rushing back in the house and tells his mom that he's just seen a gnome. And him and his dad have just seen a gnome run across the yard. And she's like, what? She thinks he's joking. And no, her husband comes in and confirms it. And he's like, no, like we both saw it. Like something's not right. So they keep seeing this like randomly or whatever. Well, they start leaving it little gifts. And that's like, apparently everybody on TikTok is like, bitch, that's the worst thing you can do.
No, honey, it's going to come to stay.
That's the worst thing you can do is leave them gifts. I don't know why, but I think it like brings out their inner like meanness or something. I don't know.
Even though we both know, honey, we would leave you a little something out there.
You hungry?
Honey, you ate it.
You hungry? You out here running around because you can't find no food.
We got you, honey. Here's you some fancy feast. You like the fancy?
Dear God.
You like the fancy feast, honey?
I would feed it real food.
We got some. Well, you don't know what it likes.
That's true. We could put like out a plethora, like give it a little feast.
A little buffet, honey. That's our little gnome buffet, honey. We don't know what it likes.
Put a little sign up.
Yeah. Honey, we'll place cards.
Yeah.
Gnome
buffet.
Gnome buffet, honey. Fancy feast, hamburger helper, spam.
And then, what would be another? Tuna salad.
Tuna salad, honey. Egg salad. Just macaroni salad.
Crackers.
And because, listen, and then we'd have to leave it some desserts too, which is pretty much, whatever pudding we have mixed with some Cool Whip.
And some sweet tea.
Yeah.
Some sweet tea and water.
Because if it's living down here, honey, it's got to like sweet tea.
Yeah, it's got to have sweet tooth.
And I mean, we might leave it a little bit of wine.
Yeah.
In the blood.
So they start leaving it little things. Well, one night they're ready to leave to go out to eat or something like that. And they go and they leave a stack of coins out.
Well, I ain't leaving no money.
Oh, no. They left some coins scattered on the walkway or whatever. When they get home later that night, the coins are stacked up in a tower on their little flower bed. So I don't know if they've got cameras or not yet. I'm gonna have to look into it. But like, does that make right, honey? But so I did like some research. I was like, has anybody ever caught a gnome on camera? Bitch, yes, look it up. It is scary. And they're not cute little things either.
Honey, this ain't your Lowe's garden gnome.
I saw one video that terrified me. Scared the shit out of me. It was,
I would still feel like, I don't know why, but I still feel like I would try to be nice to a gnome.
Oh, I would too.
Like
I would never be mean.
I would want it to be my friend.
Okay, like one thing that I've learned about like researching like the Fae in general is like that is you really, I mean, they're like people. I mean, basically you've got good ones, you've got bad ones, but you should always be cautious.
Well, yeah, honey. I mean, you should be always be cautious. But okay, so maybe let's just say I would want to be an acquaintance at least.
Yeah. And apparently, you should never tell them your real name.
Like if they were, because I would want to be nice to them because I feel like so if they ever decide to revolt against the human world and take over, they'd be like skip over his house and he's good.
He's good. He's
good too. He's a good. Skip over him and kill the neighbor. Kill the neighbor, honey. Kill the neighbor though.
So, as weird as this sounds, I'm calling that it's real.
Now, honestly, I could get on board with the gnomes and the Fae a lot quicker than I could, the cannibalistic mermaid eaters. Because it's still cannibal, honey, if she's half human. I don't care how you look at it. Sorry.
Agreed.
But I mean, I could get on board with that because, because the Fae is, like it's supposed to go over different planes.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I know that seems far-fetched to some, but, there's just so much that's out there and so much that, that we don't know everything about Mother Nature.
No.
I mean, honey, we don't even know her true age. That bitch is like, don't ask questions about me. She all sus. So, honestly, I would believe in gnomes before I would, probably the mermaids. Don't get me wrong. I want both to exist, but
I feel like mermaids probably do exist, but I swear, sometimes I just don't think that they're, speaking of planes, I don't think that they're on this plane. I think sometimes they might cross over into this plane, but I don't know if they're necessarily here all the time.
Honey, it's probably one of them little, one of them little young mermaids just got her driver's license, took the wrong turn.
Took the wrong turn.
Honey, now she's in the ghetto.
Now, apparently, there are some people, like a lot of witches and stuff like that, say that sometimes I watch on YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that, that they claim that they can see the Fae all the time.
I mean, a lot of people say that they have second sight.
Yeah.
And nothing has ever been determined as what all is included within that second sight. And I think that, a lot of things, because I mean, almost everybody has a story, or they remember, or they, you see something, dart across in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Or or a shadow that can't be explained by any other means.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that they're there, and I think that they're honestly probably there in plain sight, because that's the best place to hide.
Yeah.
Always is in
I agree.
Always hide in plain sight.
I agree.
So I just think that they're just a little bit sneakier.
Oh, yeah.
But definitely in the age of technology and stuff, I think that it's, you'll see a lot more of stuff like that.
Yeah. Like catch a glimpse of them.
And I mean, let's just go ahead and be honest. The more that we invade their habitats, we invade these mountains, and we invade these countrysides and stuff like that to develop them into cities. Yeah, we're tearing up their homes.
Yeah.
So, honey, I could see the uprising of the gnomes. Mad as hell, honey. But like, I swear I don't know what happened. They mad.
When I was mowing, this is funny that you said that, because when I was mowing yesterday, I mowed a new walk path because it wasn't super grown up yet, but it will get grown up if I don't go ahead and start mowing it now. And as I was mowing through there, I was like, oh my God. I was like, the fairies are probably fucking pissed.
Probably.
But I mean, I didn't like go ham. I just did like a little walk path. But at the same time, I was like, ooh, it does make you think.
Right. It really does.
And
honey, that's why I hire someone to mow my yard, and they can't be mad at me.
I know you hired him.
It don't matter that, but get after Jerry, honey.
Get after Jerry.
Get after Jerry. It ain't me.
Okay. So, Faye aside, I would love to hear if you guys have any Faye stories or anything like that, or have any specific Faye that you want us to touch on, like do an episode about or talk more about. Put it in the comments, or send us a message
directly. We'll get back to you in 3 to 7 business days.
I'll get back to you pretty quick, actually, because I'm pretty good on that.
Oh,
getting back quick.
Quicker, man.
Like within like a day's time, I'll get back, most likely.
24-hour response, honey. We're that efficient. Hashtag they don't like us.
They not like us. They not like us. Okay, so next topic, darling. We're going to talk about, okay, so the reason I thought about this is because, and this happened a lot in all times. Yeah. Like, they're always hollering witch, especially with women that are expressive.
Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
Yeah, so SNL recently, had Lady Gaga on, and we're weeks behind, but I wanted to bring this up because this brought it to my attention. I was and they, like, she did an SNL skit, and then she also performed and stuff like that, and a lot of people were hollering, like, witch, like she was doing a live ritual on TV, it wasn't a skit, that kind of thing. And I'm curious to know what you think and what other people think. Not necessarily about this one in particular, but about numerous things. Like they've said it about all kinds of celebrities. They've said it about Taylor Swift, which blows my mind because I'm like, what? I've never seen one where I was like, yep, they're doing a ritual on TV. Now, there's been a few I've seen where I'm like, oh, that looks demonic.
Well, I think, like, because you find that mindset all throughout history.
Yes.
And I think a lot of it lays with the fundamentalist mindset, like that Christian sector that is mainly fundamentalist. The ones that hate everybody, and like they definitely like the Old Testament God, which is fine, and you do you. fine. But anywho, because I mean, even looking back, like when dancing started becoming like like the jitterbug and the shake and the mashed potato. Is that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know. I might have just been quoting hairspray. Hello, Baltimore. Anyhow, sorry.
No, it's fine. I love hairspray.
I do too. Miss Baltimore crabs. But they like from when radio was invented, they said it was the devil.
Yeah.
When TV first was
I was going to say same with TV.
It was the devil, honey. And my papa, he was one of those old school, them old time preachers, and he used to preach that the TV, honey, was the devil in the corner, and you just let the devil into your house every night at 6 p.m.
I heard that many a time.
Every night, and then, honey, and Mom and them, they grew up with no TV whatsoever because Papa did not believe in it whatsoever. Honey, I swear 2 weeks after he died, my mom went and bought TV.
Oh my gosh.
I went and bought TV. Now, she never had cable. She didn't go full center.
Not full center.
Honey, she had an antenna,
Same thing with the internet.
Yeah. I mean, like any new facet of communication or anything, and it was said about the telephone that it's going to be an instrument of the devil. And I mean, partly I can see, and I'm not saying that they were completely wrong.
Right.
Because, I mean, we all know that there are facets, especially with the internet and stuff like that, that are not used for the most modest means.
Right.
But we saw it with dancing, in the 60s when the hippies came around with their peace and love and acid, and they protested wars and all this other good stuff. Well, honey, they were just ushering in the devil. And then what did we have? Well, honey, we had rock and roll.
Yep.
And
that tore them up.
Honey, that was your highway to hell right there, was the rock and roll. So now, we're 30 years past all that. Honey, they're just looking for new stuff to blame. I mean, that woke Disney, shame on them. Shame on them, honey, giving us a biracial mermaid. How dare they? How dare they? Honey, I Swanee, honey. Was it the clock that was gay in Beauty and the Beast? It was one of them.
I believe it was the clock.
Was it the clock?
I loved it.
Honey, a gay clock. The earth is going to shatter.
Yeah.
Like, literally. But anywho, then of course, all those fundamentalist moms when the little Harry Potter came out. You can't read that. It has witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's about witchcraft. You can't read that.
Yeah. My mother was not one of those, honey.
No, my mom actually honestly was not either. She didn't get into all that.
Yeah.
My
mom was like, that is so dumb. My mom took us to see in theaters.
No, my mama didn't do all that, honey, but my mama does not do public theaters. No, she ain't trying to get the herpes.
Oh. So, but I will say this. Now, I have seen a couple where I've been like, oh, something right there. But a lot of times I think it's just for show to get people talking.
Now, okay, so if, say, I guess it would depend on the person. Now, do I think that Lady Gaga is a witch? Probably. But do I think that she's trying to, invoke some, spell? No. I kind of put her in the realm with, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
A white witch. Well, I don't mean, white, like me, like pasty. I mean, white, like the white light.
Yeah.
And I'm not really up on my witch vocabulary, so don't come at me. Honey, the witches of TikTok, okay? Because I'm on your side. Honey, I'm an ally. All right? I support you. I just don't know the correct terminology because I grew up here in the Appalachians. Honey.
Appalachians.
And we still call it the little witch woman up in the mountains.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
All we got.
But I honestly do like how very much witchcraft has went very mainstream.
Me too.
There was there was this big thing not too long ago about the use of the word warlock.
Yeah.
Because warlock, honestly, I would be okay being referred to.
Apparently, it's a traitor.
But there was this whole thing that male witches are witches too.
Yeah.
But I truly just believe that it's people grasping at straws.
Yeah.
They're trying to because they try to take something innocent or something that is nothing but entertainment value. They try to manipulate it, and they try to turn it into something that is vulgar,
right? Or
something it's nothing new. Like, we see it every day. Even with the drag queen story hour, it became a big thing about a drag queen reading a book to a child.
Right.
Why? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that a drag show at a bar is suitable for your child. Right. By no means. Don't take your child to a bar to see a drag queen. But if you take your child to a library to see a drag queen, it's not going to be it's just a drag queen reading a book.
Yeah, it's not sexually explicit. They're not out there dancing.
But some people will take
with
that.
Being scantily clad. It's a library.
Some people will take that and they will manipulate it, and they will...
they're demonizing it.
Exactly. They'll turn it into a grooming, indoctrination type thing. But yet, forcing your child to go to church every Sunday is not indoctrination. Even though it's a forced thing. And don't be wrong.
Oh, Lord, honey, you're going to get them coming for you.
Well, honey, it's the truth, though, honey. Call bullshit when it's bullshit. And I was one of those children who grew up. I was forced to go to church. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad about it. I enjoyed
me either. I enjoyed it as well.
I personally enjoyed church until church didn't enjoy me.
Yeah.
But I think it's that mindset where you take something innocent, you take something that is
coming from a good place.
Yeah, coming from a good place, not meant to be anything, and you manipulate it into something foul, into something vulgar,
yes,
to fit your narrative.
Yeah.
And even something as innocent as Hocus Pocus 2. When Hocus Pocus 2 came out on Disney, there was this crazy mom group who was boycotting, saying that they were trying to cast spells through the movie. Honey, if you don't listen, okay, honey, if you are a believer in the Almighty, all right, and you can be manipulated by actors on a TV screen, you're not a true believer.
My eyes itching, sorry.
That's just the truth of it, honey. You're not a true believer. Your faith is not at the cross, honey. Your faith is in the world, and you can't have it both ways.
Right.
So pick a side, honey. But
he's preaching, y'all.
I know, honey. I get into it sometimes. Sorry.
I love it.
I used to want to be a preacher when I was little, which I did. I used to want to be a preacher so bad. That's the one thing I wanted to be in life, which obviously, honey,
no. But as a child,
honey, I would. Honey, I'd hold my little sermons and everything.
Oh,
yeah, honey. I preached to many a teddy bear.
So cute.
But it's just that's just one thing that really that's one thing that gets me so bad about society today. And and it's very easy because, honey, we all become keyboard warriors. Mm-hmm. Honey, Lord knows I do. I am not one to stay shy about my opinions. I will be typing. I don't even care if I know the people. I'm like, let me tell you something, ho. I'm gonna pray for you. All right. But I feel like that's where it comes from. Like a lot of people don't like Lady Gaga because of what she stands for, because of what she stands by, because of what she believes.
Yeah.
And, and it drives them even more crazy that she's so popular.
Yes.
Same thing with Taylor Swift. They can't stand that she is popular. But see, here's the thing. Taylor Swift, she puts herself in a different category because she puts herself in a category of not judging people, of accepting people.
She's very pro-feminist.
Yeah, she's and I don't understand why everybody's so against feminism. Don't get me wrong. I get there's radicals.
Yes.
You're going to find radicals everywhere you go.
Absolutely.
But radicals do not speak for the majority of the group. They're just the ones who get publicized because they're radicals.
Exactly. They're the ones that make the rest of us look crazy.
Exactly. most sane people, honey. Like I can't say that I'm a big Swiftie. I'm not.
I am.
She's got like 4 songs that I actually know that I like. I'm not saying she's a bad artist, not at all. I'm just saying I don't really go to Taylor Swift to listen to her. I don't mean I want her to be unsuccessful.
Right.
You know, she obviously has an audience that she has built. She has worked for what she has. Lady Gaga is the same way.
Yes.
She has worked for her audience. She has worked for what she has. Since when are we against working for what you have?
Agreed.
That is supposed to be the American dream, is it not?
Right.
That's the foundation of capitalism, which built America.
Helen.
Anywho, but like I said, I do believe a lot of that spurs from religion. I believe that it spurs from an old, an old mindset.
Yeah.
A lot of bigotry that goes hand in hand. And honey, listen, you can hate the gays. That's fine. That's fine. No one's telling you can't. You have every right to. We don't care. It ain't gonna stop nothing, honey. You can't pray the gay away.
Oh,
that's a good little song. I'll have to let you listen to it later. Remind me. I'll let you listen to it. And, you know, same thing with honey. These feminists. I'm sorry, honey. You're not gonna put women back in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant,
right?
Honey, they know their worth now. They don't have to settle, and that's the mindset now. Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga. They say they're empowering.
Yes.
They open up doors, not just for women, but for all types of marginalized groups. And and I think that's why people's beef with Disney and things like that, because Disney went go broke. Honey, Disney ain't hurting.
Honey, they did just hurt with that Snow White movie.
Well, yeah, but
whoa, that was a bad time.
They misjudged that on so many accounts.
But that's not because of.
But that's not because they went woke.
That's because of the main character. The star. She was very outspoken.
Yeah, apparently
badmouthed the original, and it turned everybody off. Everybody decided they didn't like her because she seemed too uppity.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I watched the interview and I was like, "Who is this girl saying that she can come on here and just talk shit and expect us to come see her movie?"
I've not seen the interview. I have.
She's very off-putting.
I've seen reactions to the interview, but I've not seen the interview itself.
Very off-putting.
I mean, frankly, honey, I could give 2 shits whether Snow White did good or didn't do good or anything. I mean, it's never gonna be good as the original.
Of course not.
But it's just the mindset. That's the mindset that you set yourself against something so vehemently. And it's not just one-sided, because, I mean, honey, obviously you see it on both sides of the fence.
People are always going to look for something to hate.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter if you're Democrat. It doesn't matter if you're Republican. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, you're atheist. It doesn't matter the color. Everybody wants someone to blame for their troubles. And if you want someone to blame for your troubles, I suggest you go look into a mirror.
And we're all guilty of it. I mean, we're all guilty. I'm guilty of it.
Because we're human beings.
Where, you don't want to blame yourself for something.
Exactly.
So you'll be looking for who to point a finger at.
Because we're humans, honey.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's the fault of us all. We're all human beings. We're all, honey, we all fall short.
Nobody's perfect.
I come pretty close.
So close.
So close, but not quite there. And see, it's that little bit of modesty, honey. That little bit of modesty, that little bit of virtue.
Keeps them honest.
Keeps, honey, humility. Humility always keeps you a little honest.
I will say this, though. I wouldn't necessarily sit here and act like, I'm not going to act like that it maybe never happens.
No.
But I do not think that Lady Gaga's doing it.
So we went off on a little side tangent there, and that's my fault because I
enjoyed it. I'm glad we talked about
it. I turned into little Reverend Joshua.
No, honey, we loved it.
But back to my little tangent, I do believe that it depends on who the message is coming from.
Absolutely.
Now, do I think that Lady Gaga is trying to influence a nation of young people negatively? No.
With like witchcraft? No.
Exactly. Now, if Charles Manson was up there doing it, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like,
and look at the message. Like, look at the message. Are they promoting hate?
No, she's talking about her song Abracadabra is about dancing.
Exactly. What are they promoting? Look at that. Are they promoting hate? Are they promoting bigotry? Are they, you know, or are they promoting racism? What are they promoting? Because I mean, you know, if the you know high grand poopah of butt cracks is, you know, up there in his KKK thing, speaking to a group of teenagers, I'm going to
be alarmed.
Then be alarmed, you know. But if Lady Gaga's up there singing a song about dancing, or little Chappelle Roan is, you know,
Chappelle Roan
is bebopping to her Pink Pony Club, honey. Just let them bebop to her Pink Pony Club because she ain't hurting nobody.
So now we'll get off the witch thing because we pretty much gave our opinions.
I apologize for the sermon.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's Brian. It's our podcast.
I know, but I get a little spirited sometimes.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being passionate.
I was going to say, honey, I used to be on the debate team. I love me a good debate.
I was never on the debate team. We didn't have one, but I had debate class, and I freaking loved it.
Honey, I love me a good argument. But I am my mother's child, so honey, I will argue till I'm blue in the face, and it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. I'm going to argue.
You're going to let it rip.
I'm going to let it rip, honey, with every conviction that I have in me.
Tell them.
Amen.
Okay. I was going to bring up something else, and then I was like, you know what? We'll save that for the next episode because we went for a minute. So
got a little preachy.
Honey, he let it rip today, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being passionate and, you know, having an opinion. I don't mind. That's one thing I really, really love about you and I is like sometimes our opinions are very different, but I totally respect your opinion.
Sometimes we are night and day.
Yeah, but I'm not. But I agree with you on what we were just talking about. The only reason I bring that up is like even if I didn't agree with what you said, I would absolutely respect your opinion. That's what I love about us. And I wish that's what we've gone away from. I feel like so much as a society that cancel culture is so real. I think that if you have an opinion, it's okay that you have a different opinion than me, and it's okay to still be friends with people who are different from you. Why would it be any fun if we were all the fucking same?
Right.
And agreed with every single thing. If I agreed with every single thing you said, what the hell are we talking about?
I completely agree. I mean, I do believe that there is a line that, you know, the we can disagree and still be friends. I do believe that they're, you know, like, I mean,
agreed.
We can disagree and still be friends on many, many, many things.
Yes.
And I mean, and I say that from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, but there's always going to be a cutoff.
Now, I know, you know, there's a lot of political things going on nowadays, but that's not to say, like, I mean, I have several friends who do not think like me politically, I love them and respect them. I mean, are there some things that, you know, like, I guess it's because I know their heart and I know why they voted the way they voted.
Yeah.
And, you know, now, do I wish that it was different? Yeah, I do. But, you know, I'm not here to change nobody.
Right.
You know, I'm not here to make you think like me, make you believe like me, no, honey, you be you and I'm going to be me.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I'm still going to love you regardless. You know, I do believe that there comes a point though, you know, like if you're actively voting against my civil rights, well, then we may have to talk.
Oh, agreed. Agreed. There is always a cutoff.
But at the end of the day, I still do believe that we've lost prospect of, you know, the mindset that, honey, we're all just human beings sharing one planet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't look the same. We don't talk the same. We don't think the same. We don't live the same. We don't believe the same.
It wouldn't be fun if we were all identical,
you know,
in every way, shape, or form.
And
that would be so boring.
Not to go back to my, you know, poor little precious Memo Devi.
We love Memo Devi.
May she rest in peace, honey.
Amen.
But if we all sang the same in the choir, how would we harmonize?
Preach. Honey, I love Memo Devi quotes.
I know. I do too. Miss her.
But guys, that's all for us this episode. We missed you guys so much. We can't wait to hear what you have to say about this episode. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, honey, I just started talking.
No, honey, it's fine.
I just started talking. I'm like, thank y'all for, you know, joining in to listen to us rant for a little bit.
Yeah.
And tune into the next video because you know what? We're about to rant on a whole new topic.
That's right, honey. We're about to film another one back.
Y'all. But, honey, listen, thank you for tuning into this sermon.
Yes, honey.
You know, honey.
I love it. I love
I
it.
know. I know.
Follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. There is the bell.
Oh,
Okay,
there's the
you're
bell.
gonna hit
Ring a ding.
subscribe. Yeah, honey, you're gonna hit subscribe, and then you're gonna next that you're gonna hit the button that has a little bell on it.
Ring a ding, honey.
You're gonna click that bell.
Click it.
Honey, you won't miss a thing.
Won't miss a thing.
Won't miss a thing, honey.
As the good Reverend used to say. May the good Lord keep you sweet. Till the next time we meet, you're dismissed and fear the Lord.
Bye, guys.
Bye.